So it literally, the magnetism, guys, is this huge push and pull effect. One person is going to pull away because it's that intense, it's pretty scary, and then they're going to come back, and then the other person's going to pull away. It is that intense, guys, of where it's an unexplainable event and then come back. It is I want to say a game of cat and mouse, but it is beyond your conscious control. The body is literally doing it itself, is literally lit up, and you're feeling those emotions inside of you, and it's pulling them all up to the surface. So you're literally self-evolving just by being around each other and in like the vicinity, and then you get that pull effect. So it's wanting to join, it's wanting to come into union, and it is the craziest shit, guys. I had no idea until I experienced it. Hey guys, what is up? Welcome back to my channel and welcome to Merry Musemas. This is Mystical Muse Mindsets, where we discuss all things to expand our consciousness, improve our lives. And so let's dive into the video. Guys, today's topic actually comes from a message that I received from one of you beautiful souls, and a topic that I have covered back in the day, and we are going to touch back on it again because it only seems fitting to talk about karmic partners, twin flames, and soulmates. Oh, guys. My perception on this has shifted over the years, and I have educated myself on Carl Jung's psychology, combined with spirituality, combined with my experience. So here is my take on this. And now, guys, I am going to be giving you my opinion on this. It doesn't hold the ultimate truth, so take it as it resonates with you. Some of this may hit home, some of this may not. So let's dive in. I'm going to first give you just my whole take on relationships in general and conscious expansion, because I have been down the road of karmic partnerships, twin flames, and I think I've yet to really experience the soulmate. But I have experienced people who feel like a soulmate, who feel like a home feeling to me. That is what I want to express to you guys, is it is all about your state of being within yourself, is how you're going to perceive the relationship that you are in. And that is going to determine if you feel like something is a karmic relationship, if you feel like something is a twin flame relationship, or if you feel like something is a soulmate relationship. It totally depends upon your current state of consciousness, your energy, the healing work you have done with yourself, what energy you're carrying, what patterns are on repeat, right? What evolution of love have you experienced up to that point? And we can only ever know the highest form of love in which we know in the moment. And sometimes the highest form of love in which we know is based off of childhood wounds, and that is what is that magnetism that pulls us together, that we kind of associate a twin flame relationship with and a karmic relationship with, not necessarily the soulmate relationship with, of where this will make sense whenever I explain it. You will understand that whatever kind of relationship that you are in the moment, that was love for you at the time. In the moment, that's what the highest form of love felt like for you at the time, depending upon your experience in life and your relationship with yourself, right? What was your self-worth and what you thought that you were deserving or willing to put up with a partner? What subconscious beliefs or choices were you making, or conscious choices were you making, right? All those things play into fact when you are in a relationship. And of course, other things influence it as well too. But I want to just get that point across before I actually dive into karmic, twin flame, soulmate type of energies. They're just kind of identifying certain ways that we feel at different levels of conscious expansion of energies reflected back to us. A karmic relationship and a twin flame relationship, I truly feel like are very identical. I just feel like maybe the twin flame relationship is just experienced at a heightened state of conscious expansion and therefore energy. So with karmic partners, it's more associated with karma, and karma is just an energetic pattern on repeat. It's not good or bad, it's just whatever you want to assign the logic of the energetic pattern. So if you're telling yourself it's bad karma and a bad relationship, then that's what it's going to be. People are basically getting into karmic relationships based off of subconscious beliefs or patterns that they have either inherited in childhood trauma and wounds. So from age 0 to 7, your subconscious is wide open. All you're trying to do is survive, and you're just basically being programmed. You have no discernment on what to choose for yourself. You literally are just doing anything to survive, and that bases what you will pretty much do for the rest of your life in order to survive. It kind of forms your beliefs and drives your actions. And we are most of the time unconscious of it until we get so uncomfortable with our choices and our actions in life that we become conscious of it, because we've done the work to then choose different choices and to take different actions to create a different reality, because we're sick and tired of our own BS and taking responsibility for our life. Hopefully. The karmic pattern takes us to karmic relationships in order for those patterns to be reflected back to us. Now, how we get involved in those relationships is from the dynamics of energy, and this is where nobody comes into our reality by chance, is because when like energy attracts like energy, they have a magnetism. They pull towards one another. Now, the level at which they pull, I think, is the level of intensity of what's lighting up inside of one another, and what kind of determines what we're calling the relationship of with, is it karma or is it a twin flame, of the level of what is it catalyzing your energy, what level of evolution is it causing for you, right? That's where I truly feel what sets these two relationships apart. So you're going to feel that magnetism. If you've ever experienced that magnetism feeling, it literally feels like there is a push and pull effect with you and this other person. It is the craziest thing in the world if you are consciously aware of it, and if you're familiar with energy in your body. You will literally feel yourself being drawn to the person, your thoughts being drawn to the person, and even like your physical body, you will start to feel, you'll kind of orbit the person. If you're like around them in certain environments, you'll kind of try to seek them out a little bit. They will be on your mind more often. So in your thoughts, you will actually start to mirror patterns of the person. Maybe start to say certain things that they say, maybe start to act kind of like them, all subconsciously. You don't even know that you're doing it until you self-reflect these things. And then the feeling that it gives you, it does, I want to say, feel like love. If I understood the way that my highest perception of love now, if I look back at it, it doesn't feel like love to me. But looking back at it at the time, yes, that did feel like love. But I just understand love at heightened states now. But the only way I could understand that was experiencing that to catalyze me to a different, higher state. Anyway, you see the point of these relationships. But it feels like a burning desire. It feels like lust. It feels like you want to connect with this person. You want to be a unit. The energies are pulling together and they want to join, because it literally feels like they are a piece of you. It's like you're seeing yourself reflected back to you. And this is probably more associated with the twin flame rather than the karmic, because karmic is more of like patterns on repeat, repeating cycles. But I've experienced this in both types of relationships, I want to say. The thing with the karmic relationship, it is meant to break the karmic patterns. It's meant to make different choices in your relationships. So maybe you're going after, maybe love for you feels like a controlling partner. So you keep picking controlling partners. Eventually, you'll get sick of picking the controlling partners. You will do the inner work to raise your vibration, to heal, to develop a higher sense of self-love for you, self-worth, to stop choosing controlling partners, to get rid of that energy, or to develop a heightened state or a heightened idea of yourself, a higher perspective of yourself, stepping into your higher self, to then choose people more in alignment with that thought of relationships, of your new type of relationship. So you see what that was for. You didn't realize your worth until somebody treated you that way and made you develop a sense of higher self-worth. So that's kind of an example of what these relationships are for. Now, the twin flame relationship is more of the mirror reflected back to you. It's more of you see yourself reflected back. It's more of the joining of the one, of where it's kind of like you literally like, you kind of like want to become a unit. It's an even more intense push and pull effect than what I want to say the karmic relationship is, if I so had to give it a definition. This is where I feel the twin flame relationship can catalyze you even more, or alchemize you. And what I mean by this is basically evolve you faster, meaning it's going to give you an energetic boost. And by what I mean by that is, when we come into contact with these other people with the same energy signatures, and we have experiences with them, or we're energies resonating and each other's bodies lighting up, we're activating one another, and we're literally intensifying the energies in our bodies, lighting up. And that desire, that push and pull, that magnetic feeling is literally lit up, and you're feeling those emotions inside of you, and it's pulling them all up to the surface. So you're literally self-evolving just by being around each other and in like the vicinity. And then you get that pull effect. So it's wanting to join, it's wanting to come into union. And it is the craziest shit, guys. I had no idea until I experienced it, of the level of magnitude of what this can actually be. And this is where it's crazy as well too. It can literally, and this is from my experience, guys, I truly believe that the twin flame can change as you evolve. Because from my experience, there was somebody in my reality who I was not either consciously aware of this, but as I grew and self-evolved and my energy shifted, it then resonated with somebody else's and then was lighting up in them, and that's when it hit. So I evolved and changed as a person, and then found a match, and you want to call that a twin flame. Now, you don't have to be in a romantic relationship with a twin flame. You truly don't. It's a conscious awareness now that I have. Our identity is only tied to the ego, and if you drop your ego, you can be whoever it is that you want to be. That's why I'm kind of like, your twin flame or your karmic partner or soulmate can change as you change, guys, because it's just the laws of energy. Your energy is not assigned to this body all the time. We're always becoming, right? So why wouldn't it shift in other people as well too? So the whole thing with the twin flame, it literally forces a spiritual awakening, because it is raising your vibration, because the energy is so intense between you and this other person. Just your presence alone and around each other, you're activating one another. So it literally, the magnetism, guys, is this huge push and pull effect. You're gonna have a dynamic of where one person is gonna pull away because it's that intense, it's pretty scary, and then they're gonna come back, and then the other person's gonna pull away and then come back. It is I wanna say a game of cat and mouse, but it is that intense, guys, of where it's an unexplainable event, I even want to say, of why you feel these emotions towards somebody, of why you feel so drawn and pulled to somebody, that it literally feels like a spiritual experience. It feels otherworldly. You cannot explain why this is happening or even how it started happening, but it is beyond your conscious control. The body is literally doing it itself. Like the body is driving this thing. And truly, what I feel, the only way to overcome it, if you said can even, because this might just be, I want to say destiny, but this might just be what has to happen to evolve you to those next stages, unless you can choose differently to try and evolve yourself a different way. But it might be part of your path to get to that next level of evolution. You don't have to engage in said twin flame if you are consciously aware. If both parties are consciously aware, you can make said other choices and not choose to engage. Or if you are consciously aware, you can choose to join union and probably create something pretty damn cool, I want to say. It would be otherworldly for a while. You could evolve each other pretty hardcore because the energy is so intense. But I couldn't imagine actually coming into union, like what that would actually do. Yeah, I'm not, like, I could not even describe that. Now, the soulmate is different. I don't believe I've ever felt or experienced the soulmate. I'm not quite sure. I don't think the soulmate has that magnetism, but this is where I'm trying to tell you guys that it's all about the level of conscious awareness that you are at and the thoughts going on in your head. Because literally there have been times, like even in my karmic partnership, that I felt what had felt like to me at the time was my soulmate. He felt like home, but it was because of the level of conscious expansion that I was in, that at the time I resonated with him at the level of my soulmate, right? So where I'm at energetically right now, I'm not really in a place of seeking a soulmate or coming across a soulmate. So I cannot tell you what that feels like from my current conscious expansion and experience from growth from the time that I thought I had experienced my soulmate to now. But that is my perception on these relationships, guys, is yes, they exist, but it's only at the level of conscious expansion and what you have experienced in the moment. So what a soulmate does feel like is a feeling of home, a feeling of peace. Your nervous system is calm around them. So these are the signs that you want to look for when you're around somebody, that they actually, you are your best version of yourself around them, that they bring you up, they build you, or you build one another, you complement one another. You don't fall in love, you elevate in love. So these are all kind of the things with a soulmate, is you are evolving in a positive way. Right? You complement one another. So, which means you probably have similar likes, values. You probably are consciously aware individuals. But most importantly, guys, in any successful relationship, the soulmates probably choose to give the other person what they need out of love. They want to give the other person what they need in order to be okay, to be safe, to be emotionally stable, to be okay in life, happy. They want to be that for them in order for them to have a successful life, or for order in them to be a functioning human being. They want to fulfill the energy that, you know, maybe they're lacking one day, right? They step in and they take over one day, or even for life. So you get what I'm saying, is it's a choice to do that every single day. To show love for somebody is a conscious choice to do it. It's not the cocktail of hormones that wear off over time in the honeymoon phase. That's not love. That is nature's way of making sure we don't go extinct, okay? Or that is nature's way of also making sure that we evolve in conscious expansion by having relationships like twin flames and karmic partners. Clever universe, you're so clever. That's my take on relationships, karmic partnerships, soulmates. Yes, they exist, but it's only at the level of consciousness and energy signature you're at. Everything is the level of belief in which you give it. What love for you at the time is truly true. And that will constantly be changing your definition of love, your feelings of love, as long as you keep evolving and experiencing heightened states of love. And the only way to do that is to evolve in relationships, to experience relationships, to learn more about yourself, to develop the relationship and self-love for yourself, to heal whatever kind of, I want to say negative voice you have going on, the relationship with yourself. What kind of self-talk do you have? How do you treat yourself? What do you feel like your self-worth is? Do you go after your goals? What do you think you're deserving of? All those things, guys. That plays into the level of love at which you feel. Are you afraid to even love? Do you have a guard up? Because if you have a guard up, what you keep out, can't get in either. So you can't feel love at the same time. You won't be able to experience heightened states of love if you're guarded. Another way to do it is deepen your spirituality, deepen your relationship with God. That will open your heart up immediately. All these things can be to where you can experience heightened states of love and then see it reflected back in another. The more that you experience love within yourself and develop love for yourself, the more you're going to see your soulmate reflected back to you and another person and your next relationship, whoever that is, whoever holds the most values and alignment with you, whoever is more in alignment, with kind of just like what you have in common, kind of some stuff like that. Anyways, guys, I'm sending you all my light and all my love. Satnam. I think I've done so many vlogs, guys, where my microphone wasn't on, and it has forever traumatized me to where I now have to check my microphone every single time. There we go. And step to that point. Oh God, what do I have in my eye? Shit. Well, we broke that channel. Oh, God damn. Well, not gonna be that one. Actions. Your ignorance. Your ignorance signal. Blah, 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 blah. Where's the question? So guys, oh fuck, my battery just about to die. God damn it. Grab it to change it. To expand our consciousness, improves our improve our lives. I wore this bow to try and be festive for Musemas because my ass cannot be bothered after work today. I cannot be bothered to dress festive right now because I am exhausted. So